Everybody, if you don't already know who I am, Viva Frei, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida Rumbler. My daily live streams are on Rumble, and I post the clips to CommieTube. Now, I think I'm in the bad books of CommieTube, probably because I refer to them as CommieTube. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, feed the algorithm, and, watch the video to the end. Enjoy it. We can be critical of administrations, even if they are our administrations. And this was part of the discussion I actually had with Pisco Liddy yesterday, where he's like, you never criticized Trump. And I'm like, first of all, I've criticized Trump during this very broadcast interview. I will criticize everyone where I think it's warranted. But I did say, and maybe this is what bias is, or maybe this is what self-awareness is. I said it about Pierre Poilievre and the Liberals. When I criticize Justin Trudeau, it's not to make him a better politician. It's to expose him as the corrupt POS that he is. When I criticize Pierre Poilievre and or the Conservative Party, it's not to expose them as the corrupt POSs that they are, because I don't think that they are as corrupt, or I don't think those individuals are corrupt POSs in the first place. If ever I come to the conclusion that Pierre Poilievre is as much of a corrupt POS as Justin Trudeau, my criticism will shift from trying to reshape him and better him as a politician for the betterment of Canada to trying to expose his corruption for the betterment of Canada. At the end of the day, enlightenment is the ultimate goal. You do treat allies a little bit different than you treat enemies. You give the benefit of the doubt to friends, and when you're dealing with foes who no longer deserve it, you no longer give it to them. So when I criticize President Trump on Operation Warp Speed, or at the very least, his insistence that it was a success, when I criticized the Trump administration for not reinstating the Brooke Jackson-Key Tam lawsuit, investigating Pfizer, and potentially going after Fauci, so help me goodness, find an email that confirms that Biden was not aware of the Fauci pardon, annul that pardon, not on the basis of mental acuity, but on the basis of fraud, and prosecute Fauci. Albert Bourla didn't get a pardon. Let me just make sure about this before I go. Did Albert Bourla get a pardon? I don't think he did. Please tell me he didn't. I don't think he did. There is no evidence or credible information indicating that Albert Bourla has received a pardon. Okay, good. Stéphane Banquel, CEO of Moderna, did Biden pardon Stéphane Banquel? I don't think he did either. The amount of typos, if Grok is able to surmise what my question was. No evidence indicating that Joe Biden pardoned anyone named Stéphane Banquel. Oh, well, it is a typo. Hold on. Stéphane Banquel. I don't think he pardoned any of the pharmaceutical CEOs. Yeah, there's no pardon there. So, criticize because you want them to do it, not criticize because you want them to be exposed and outed from power. The hell was I talking about? Oh, that's right. So criticizing where criticism is warranted, friend or foe, presumption of good faith with a friend, and certainly no presumption of good faith with a proven liar of a foe. That might change both ways. Now, we criticize the regime, but we can also compliment the regime. And we've been given, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, the FBI have been getting a bit of a hard time, and understandably so, predictably so, and some would say deservedly so, in the hopes that they rise to the occasion and prove all of the naysayers wrong. But when they do good, the light of goodness needs to be shone on them. Yesterday, we talked about it at length. I posted a clip of the what I believe to be the Colorado police chief, who I didn't know. Let me bring up the video again. I argued that the Colorado police chief, whose name is... it had the word dread in his. I remember there was something omen-esque nomen about his name, was deliberately, actively trying to undermine the FBI. What was his name? I'll get it right here. This is the clip. We'll play it one more time because it's worth watching. Sorry, I played it yesterday, but it'll refresh the context in which I'm going to say, yes, tweets are just tweets, but gosh darn, was that a good tweet coming from Deputy Director Dan Bongino. Yeah, listen to this jackass. Go Google his name. Stefan Redfearn. Yeah. See, I just saw the red fear, but look, I remember.
FBI is already calling it a targeted terror attack. Would you also refer to it as a terror attack? So I've been in contact with our local FBI multiple times. So we are in contact with them here. We are not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive. I know there's a lot out there on social media, but I ask people just to give us a little bit of patience while we work through a really complex scene. A lot of witnesses were here. We've taken them to another location to debrief them and interview them. As we do that, I think the picture will become more clear. But it would be irresponsible for me to speculate on motive this early on. We're only a couple hours into this thing. FBI is already calling it a targeted terror attack. Would you also refer to it as a terror attack?
It would be irresponsible for me to speculate on motive. That, call me paranoid, call me reading too much into it. That's a jab at Bongino. That's a jab at the FBI, who had already come out and said this was clearly an act of terrorism. It would be irresponsible of me to presume intent. Or is he saying that it was irresponsible of the FBI to come out and identify this as an act of terrorism? And if that's what he's doing, someone needs a bit of a smackdown, a verbal smackdown, definitely not a physical one, because that would be assault and we do not break the law. It would be irresponsible of me to hypothesize on motive, and anybody who would do that would be equally irresponsible. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, FBI. Kiss my bottom, sir. Because this is what the FBI had to say about it. Oh, crab apples. Oh, cripe, I don't have the damn tweet. Hold on one second. Oh, that's great. It was a good one. It says, we don't play word games. Let me pull up the tweet just so that I don't misquote it. Here we go. Damn it. The other one, because I have two tweets to compliment the FBI on today. Dan Bongino, to be clear, moving forward, when the evidence passed to our FBI leadership team from an active crime scene includes clearly ideologically motivated statements, video, multiple witness accounts, Molotov cocktails, and large gatherings of like-minded people, we will investigate those incidents as targeted acts of terror. If the investigation turns in a different direction despite the evidence, we can make adjustments, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty in our justice system. But we are the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We are not the Federal Bureau of Word Games. Dan. I love it. Not Deputy Director Bongino, Dan. I mean, I love it, but I'm partial. So, Red Fear, guys, you can go look up. It'll explain who the ideological motivated, ideological terrorist is in all of this. When you understand, from what I understand of Stefan Redfearn's political ideologies, you'll understand exactly why he won't call that a terrorist attack and why he will take cheap shots at the FBI for doing their jobs. But the other good news, I mean, it's good news. It's something we've been saying for a while, and it's amazing to see in real time. As Pride Month, Pride season, Pride year, Pride, all of it. Look at my junk. I like to do this. Look at my sexual proclivities month begins. FBI tweets out, help the FBI protect children. As the Attorney General has made clear, we will protect our children and hold accountable those who mutilate them under the guise of gender-affirming care. Report tips of any hospitals, clinics, or practitioners performing these surgical procedures on children at 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov. Can you appreciate what a radical shift in zeitgeist this is? To be clear, quoting Dan, we're not playing word games. When we see what is obviously in any realm of the universe an act of terror, we're going to call it that. And when Stedfern or whatever that Redfern wants to come on and say, well, we don't really know. We don't really know what it was. I mean, it was an Egyptian guy screaming free Palestine with Molotov cocktails and a flamethrower, throwing it at a group of pro-Israelis trying to release the hostages. We don't know what it could have been. Any number of reasons. Yeah, we're not denying reality anymore, people. And if Colorado police chief wants to deny reality, first of all, get him out of his job. And second of all, that's not what the FBI is doing anymore. And now the FBI is not denying reality on what so-called gender-affirming care in children is. It's genital mutilation. And where once upon a time, it would be the likes of Libs of TikTok who was accused of doxing and harassment for raising awareness of doctors, hospitals, institutions performing these genital mutilations. When she was accused, vilified, and people said, report her to the police. Now the FBI is saying, no, you report the genital mutilators to the FBI. If you're Libs of TikTok, you are feeling somewhat vindicated by the new direction of the FBI. All of this flattery is not a get out of jail free card, pun intended, for other areas that have led to legitimate, understandable, and grounded criticism. People have high expectations of Dan and Cash, and people had expectations of Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi has swung and missed on a few issues, and there's still time to make up. The game is not yet over. We're not even at the halftime yet.